Let's go. A big 1,000 damage right to the dome. GG. Big block. Big block. All right. All right. Bap. Bap. It's over. GG, boy. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. Today, we are looking at a green powerhouse in Mossborn Hydra. This 3-mana elemental Hydra creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it, and he has the Landfall triggered ability, which says whenever a land you control enters, double the power or double the number of +1/+1 counters on the Hydra. So yeah, ideally you want to be ramping fast, playing 2 lands per turn, because yeah, he goes from a 1/1 to a 2/2 to a 4/4, 8/8, 16/16, and you get the idea. So we're looking for some pretty explosive turns. Awaken the Woods is such a good way of getting a bunch of landfall triggers, because you can pay X, 2 green mana and then X, and then you get to create that many basically 1/1 land creatures, which do count as lands entering the battlefield, so that can trigger the Hydra like crazy. A really nice combo as well is with Bristly Bill. He also has the landfall triggered ability, and when a land enters, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, so that's also a really nice way to grow the Hydra. I also really like this enchantment, Ordeal of Nylea. You get to enchant your creature, and it says whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then if there are 3 or more +1/+1 counters on this creature, you sacrifice this aura and search your library for 2 basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield. So that's another really nice way to grow the Hydra. I really like Fabled Passage in this deck as well, just because it counts as a land entering, and then you get to crack it and search for another land. So that's 2 landfall triggers right there. We do ramp pretty heavily with this deck. I already went over Awaken the Woods, but Invasion of Zendikar, also another way of getting 2 lands onto the battlefield. And then this new dragon from the Tarkir Dragonstorm set, the Bloomvine Regent, for his Omen side. It's just 3 mana, so we could actually put that in this slot right here. Search your library for 2 basic forest cards, put one of them on the battlefield, and then the other one into your hand. So that's another little bit of ramp right there. We have Llanowar Elves, as well as the Irencrag, can also tap for mana. And just because we are ramping so much, I want to, try and ramp into Ugin, one of the best planeswalkers in Standard right now, but also Nissa, Ascendant Animist. I have not played with this planeswalker in such a long time, but she is a really good planeswalker. You can basically play her for 5 mana, and then the 2 Phyrexian mana. Of course, you can pay her for 6 or the full 7, and if you do pay her for the full 7 mana cost, you can, if you have a few creatures on the battlefield, basically just use her -7 ability right away to give your entire team +1/+1 and trample for each forest that you control. And hopefully by that point, we control 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 forests as well. So that's quite nice. And then her -1 is destroy target artifact or enchantment, and there are quite a few artifacts and enchantments running around, so that's pretty versatile. And then just her +1 ability, you get to create like a token that's power and toughness is equal to Nissa's loyalty. And then we're also trying out the Rampaging Baloths. He also has the Landfall triggered ability. It says whenever a land we control enters, we get to create a 4/4 beast token. So yeah, that's more or less the deck. I did throw in 2 copies of Chimil, the Inner Sun. I do really like this legendary artifact. You basically get to discover 5 at the beginning of your end step, so we can actually hit quite a bit of our deck with that. The only things we're not hitting are the Rampaging Baloths and our 2 Planeswalkers. So yeah, let's jump into some games and see how much havoc we can wreak with the Mossborn Hydra. All right, we get to go first, and we have an amazing hand because we can get the Hydra down on turn 2 thanks to our little elf right there. Opponent also with some green, also with their own elf. Yeah, look at this. So we can put this Ordeal of Nylea on the Hydra and basically trigger it instantly. So, so there's Landfall trigger number 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on him, which triggers the enchantment. So we get to search for 2 basics. So ramp some more, and that counts as 2 landfall triggers, and swing in for a nice hefty 12 damage on turn 3. Let's hope they can't tap this creature right away. Two mana to work with. I guess they can tap him, so they might be looking to put an Omniscience down. It's their own Vaultborn Tyrant. I don't think that saves them, though, because we can just go Forest. So he's a 24/24, and then here is Invasion of Zendikar. So it's going to be a 48/48 into a, is that 86/86? No, 96/96. Yikes, let's go. GG. All right, we get to go first again, and unfortunately, we don't have our Hydra, but maybe we can ramp up to a Nissa. Maybe go for a really nice big Awaken the Woods. And then I think I will just use the Omen side with the Bloomvine Regent. We are up against an Azorius deck. This might be pretty rough for us if they have a lot of counter spells and kill spells. There's another Awaken the Woods, so yeah, not necessarily what we want right now. They play their own Jeskai Monument. They get a search for a basic. Oh, just another land. You know what? I think I will go for a Awaken the Woods for 3. Ooh, they are a Simulacrum Synthesizer deck, so I think we will go ahead and get down Nissa, and then we can... Honestly, I think we're going to have to blow that one up. We know how much of a problem the Simulacrum Synthesizer can be. Then we'll have 2 mana left over. Yeah, I think we do it. So let's get her down for the full 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're so close. We're giving both of these +8/+8 if we did go for her -7, but we are just going to go ahead and destroy that one. And then we will attack those 2 down. Unfortunately, we're not up to her ultimate ability anymore. They honestly might have a board wipe, which would be pretty brutal, but it's just a Thran Spider. Another elf. Honestly, I think we go for a pretty big Awaken the Woods right here. Or do we save it? I think we save it, actually. So let's just create the Phyrexian Beast.
Welcome, my companion.
And then get 2 more lands out, and then next turn we could go for a pretty big ultimate. Even though I know for sure this Simulacrum deck, they have a bunch of exiling artifacts, so we definitely weren't in the clear right there. If we could keep our board, which one thing that is pretty interesting is these plant tokens, they are technically land tokens, so if they hit us with a lockdown, I don't think these get exiled, so yeah, well, GG. All right, we get to go first, and we do have Bristly Bill, which is really nice. They play a red land, so we can go Bristly Bill. I guess into an Irencrag. So Is It colors is what we see so far. It's a Fires of Victory. That sucks for us, but yeah, we can kind of soon start working our way up towards the Rampaging Baloths. And a Bloomvine Regent. I think we will go ahead and fish out 2 lands. Yeah, so we will have 6 mana to play this one, and then we can crack the Fabled Passage. Do they have a counter spell? Doesn't look like it. Do they have a, like, double kill spell? Doesn't look like it, so... We do get 1 4/4 beast token. And I would not be surprised if they had an ill-timed explosion. That, of course, can remove everything. They do make a copy of that. Should we just go for a really big Awaken the Woods? I think we can do it for 5. Alright, yeah, so now I really wish I had Bristly Bill. Just give them +1/+1 counters. Alright, and they do have to answer the board right now. They do have a lot of mana to work with because these give pretty nice discounts. I do like the Mind Splice apparatus, even though it can be kind of slow sometimes. And remember, all of these count as lands right now. So this might be some card draw, yeah. So looking for an answer. Looking for another answer, and they do get to proliferate, so that will give them, yeah, even more mana to work with. I'm nervous. Oh, they do play land for turn, so yeah, they have so much mana to work with. Another 3 steps ahead just to draw 2, so they are really digging through their entire deck. I've already gone through 20 cards. Ill-timed explosion does have to... They do have to drop something off worth 6 mana. I guess it could be a Season of Weaving. It is a Fires of Victory. But they only have 1 mana to work with right now. And they have played land for turn, so... Yes, we got them. GG. Alright, we get to go first, and we have a turn 2, Hydra, into a turn 3 Hydra before our 3rd land even hits the battlefield. That is crazy, boy. If our opponent is even here. Alright, the opponent is here, which is nice. So yeah, turn 1 elf. Yeah, this might be crazy. We do see black, which is unfortunate, because we know for sure they will have a bunch of kill spells. But look at this. Turn 3 is going to be double Hydra into a double Fabled Passage. Please don't remove our creature, Miguel. No. No. Alright, that sucks. But yeah, we'll just do the exact same thing again. So, crack that one. So next turn, we can get him up to I think we can just finish the opponent, actually. So hopefully they don't have a removal spell. Please, Miguel. You already did it to us once. Yes, tap land. Bro. Alright, well, I think we can work our way up towards a really big Awaken the Woods, and then Nissa should hopefully be able to help us out quite a bit. So yeah, let's go for 3 land tokens. Alright, opponent, Mr. Killjoy over here, packing nothing but removal. Oh, of course, they have a bat as well. I'm going to take our Nissa. Man, wow, they don't take Nissa. That's honestly kind of crazy. Holy Toledo's, this guy is on a heater right now. All right, let's just start the beatdown. They do miss a land drop. We hit our land drop, and yeah, we are just gonna keep going with the beatdown. So opponent down to 8. They do hit their land drop, but it does come in tapped. They do play a knight. Oh, Chimil is amazing. You know what? Let's just get in there. 6 damage, so they will be down to 3. And we have a Chimil activation. Go ahead and play the Irencrag, so that is some more ramp for us. Do they have Terra Sunder? It would not surprise me. I'm honestly kind of surprised they got rid of that one. All right, we can hit a really big... Can we just do this for 5? I'm just praying that they don't have a mass board wipe. This one we can put into our hand. Just please don't have Deadly Cover Up. Oh, they gained 4 life off that, though. Alright, well, that is 5 damage getting through. We'll keep this one just in case we find something. Elf, let's put that guy in our hand. Just in case they have a Deadly Cover-Up. Alright, I think we still got there, though. There's no way they have enough blockers. Yes, Miguel. Couldn't keep up with these little land tokens. GG, boy. Alright, this hand is amazing. I just hope our opponent lets us do our thing. Just do y'all thing. Act slave labor. And I'll do my thing. Alright, Orzhov Colors doesn't look like they will be letting us do our thing. So Abzan. Alright, that one I don't care about. So nice big +1 counter into a Hydra. So they're also looking to put counters on a creature. Dude, this is actually insane. I'm surprised I didn't take the Mossborn Hydra. So we will go with Fabled Passage into a cracked Fabled Passage into a Invasion. Alright, if this guy did not interfere with us, we would have absolutely rolled over them. Just because our Bristly Bill would be getting extra counters. Alright, big 6 damage, but I think we got them because we can put this one here, and then we can hit a Awaken the Woods for 3. So yeah, our Mossborn Hydra is going to the moon. I think we're going to do over 1,000 damage right now. Let's go! A big 1,000 damage right to the dome. GG. Mr. Slave Labor. Alright, I don't think we can keep that hand. This hand we will keep. We can ship back a land. Alright, keep this. Go away. We're done. Land into Little Elf and say hello to our boy. My face is hiding him now. Against a fairy deck, potentially. I was going to drop a land, but definitely a lot smarter to drop our Bristly Bill and then go into a land. And then we could put a +1 counter on our boy. He's a plant druid. Little plant druid. And it's an elf druid. Does the opponent have a cut down? I think we're going to find out right now. They might also have a go for the throat. Could play invasion. Let's do it. And I need to sneeze. Alright, so they flash in a fairy. We'll go ahead and get 2 lands. Big +1 counters to the whole team. And we smash. We'll just go face. They do take the damage. They do have some targeted removal. That really sucks. Let's hope we can draw one of our top ends. Nissa or Ugin would be amazing because we do have 7 mana. Alright, it is a Hydra. So let's hope that their targeted removal is limited. And again, you know what? Let's actually go after our invasion. That does count as a land entering. That does count as a land entering. Opponent's thinking about it. To block? Or not to block? That is the question. They do choose to block. This fairy is online right now. They know that we just have a land in hand. It's a Kaito.
If you want a better world, then fight for it.
Need to fight for a better world. Alright, buddy. Chill out. So dramatic. Create a little ninja.
It pays to have connections.
That's true. It does pay to have connections. Oh, we hit a Nissa.
Trust me.
Is that
I'm a
GG?
specialist.
I think it might be. So we'll pay the full cost. Our whole team will get +8.
I will weed out the sentinel.
And trample. Our little guy already has trample, and we just smash face. Let's see. What connections do you have now, Kaito? Let's see them. Let's see these connections, boy. Little 2-1 ninja, not doing anything for you. Big block, big block. All right, all right. Bap, bap. It's over. GG, boy. All right, Pon gets to go first, but I really like our hand because, yeah, we have Elf into Hydra on turn 2. So, yeah, land Elf into land Hydra into Fabled Passage. They do have a Rock Curse. If they just play the Demon Chamber, though, I think we might be sitting pretty. Because, yeah, we're going to pump our Hydra up so much right now. That one, just sacrifice. I guess that one can't give us a Decayed counter. Oh, another Hydra is an amazing draw. Yeah, he can give us 2 Decayed counters, though. I still think we do that, though. Into this Fabled Passage. Into crack that Fabled Passage. Alright, this does, I think, get around any 1-mana burn spells. They might have a Torch the Tower, but now even if they give us Decayed, I think we're going to be punching in for way too much damage. Shelly is not going to save you, boy. Shelly is definitely not going to save you because we are 100% going smash. Get out of here, Pon. GG, boy. How much were we going to do? We were going to get another 2 counters on there. So we weren't going to do 1,000 damage like we did previously. 2 more counters, so 1632. This guy's going to 1836. So, and hey, can't forget about the little elf pulling his weight as well. So more than, because again, that curve of turn 1 elf into turn 2 Hydra, so good. So GG, boy. All right, this is crazy, but I will keep it. We have nothing but power in our hands. Nothing but power. Early game power, late game power. They do get to take something from our hand. That does suck. So it might be a Boros Tokens deck. I can imagine they have the Urbrass Forge. Caretaker's Talent. They do take Nissa. Kind of crazy, but okay. It's fine by me. Yeah, there's the Caretaker's Talent. We already knew they'd have that one. So Hydra into a Hydra into a land. They might have that Chainsaw. Oh, an Archangel Elspeth. That doesn't get rid of our guy, though.
I have been reborn.
All right.
On me.
All right, Elspeth. That's quite a bit of screaming you're doing. Honestly, let's just go face. I don't really care about these Planeswalkers too much. Bap. If they don't do anything to us, do we just get them next turn?
Ready arms.
So she did a +1. Please don't have Shelter by Ghosts. Let's play Urbrass Forge. That's also fine. Oh, another Hydra. That's honestly kind of crazy. They might have a board wipe. I'm doing it, though. 3 Hydras. Give me some counters. Let's go ahead and put a counter on this guy. And, yeah, we are just going face. They're going to gain 2 life. They can block quite a bit of the damage, so I don't think we got them. But then again, maybe we just did. Yo, smash. Say it with me, guys. 3, 2, 1, smash! Oh, Hydra is just too much fun. And yeah, that enchantment with the Hydra Ordeal of Nylea, so good. Just getting, we got 3 landfall triggers that turn and 3 Hydras. Yo, the shuffler is on something today, but I am not complaining. GG, boy. All right, I'll keep this one. This is a pretty nice hand. Because, yeah, turn 1 Elf into turn 2 Hydra into Bristly Bill, Fabled Passage. Or the opponent can do that as well. That's also fine. So, yeah, Bristly Bill it is. Spyglass Siren is fine, and yeah, we do have to go with this land into a counter, into Hydra, into Smash. They do take the damage. Do they have another into the Flood Maw? Looks like it. They're hovering over our Mossborn Hydra. Let's see what's on top. Bruh. You know for sure they're keeping that one. Ooh, the Rampaging Baloths are also really nice. Does feel like there's a stick there, but again, it might just be a bounce spell. So let's go with this land. And then let's just go ahead and crack this land. And now we'll just start putting our counters on Bristly Bill. Now, you know what? Let's actually put it over on our elf. Just start growing this guy as well. All right, nothing from our opponent. Bristly Bill is legendary, so it wouldn't make sense to play him again. They have another fairy, and we already know they're drawing that one. Another land is really nice. Yeah, let's put it on Bristly Bill. And then we are going to... Oh, wait, yeah, we're just going to attack with everyone. And then he is going to bounce the Hydra. And then we are going to double the counters. Should have maybe done that after blockers, but... it feels like they have something else. Alright, so we got rid of their fairy. Our creatures are pretty powerful. They have to bounce this one or block this one. An invasion is really nice, but again, I think we just go with the Mossborn Hydra. I mean, blue, yeah, you can counter that. I guess they do get to create 2 fairies. They tap that one. Oh, I thought they countered it. That's fine. Let's just attack with our Llanowar Elf. They do take the damage, so they are down to 3. There is a Siren. They only have 3 mana. I think they missed a land drop or 2. That is their land drop. Yeah, they were, I think, bound to hit that. So 3 mana available. Ooh, this one is really nice. Can we do both? Let's just do it. Do you have a counter spell, a bounce spell? I will pay 2 for that one. Okay, that does suck, but at least we got a lot of counters out of them. And yeah, we will just smash with these guys. They're forced to block. They can't trade with us, and they are down to 1 card in hand. And they flash in a creature, and I think that is GG. Yeah. You sure did make it annoying for us, but counter spells and bounce spells, they just can't compete with smashing the opponent into the ground. GG, boy. This is kind of crazy how often we start with Fabled Passage. I am going to keep it. We really, really, really need to hope we hit an untapped land. Yes, because yeah, now we can go Elf into untapped land into Hydra, and then we can save both of these Fabled Passages. And mono white, maybe it's life gain. Sheltered by Ghosts, I am worried about. Okay, deck. We literally have 4 copies of these, and we started with 2 of them, and we drew the 3rd one. That's crazy, boy. All right. Just go ahead and play a cat. Yes, another helpful hunter. I just hope they don't have a Sheltered by Ghosts. I think that's maybe the only type of removal that they play. You already know we're not blocking that one. Another elf. I'll take it. Yeah, we will go with the elf, and then next turn we can go with a really big Awaken the Woods. Bat, big 4 damage. I think, well, I don't want to speak too soon. Let's see what they do. They could, of course, wipe the board. Oh, it's just an Ajani's Pridemate. Buddy, my creature grows, I wanted to say infinitely quicker than yours, but of course they have to have that card. Oh my gosh, man. All right, let's see. If we do this, we could do this for 4. All right, so we have a Johnny next turn. We have Ugin next turn. And we for sure will get rid of this stupid Ajani's Pridemate. Yeah, and we have so much mana right now. I think, honestly, I'm just going to let them have that. They probably have a way to pump up Ajani. And it doesn't matter how powerful he gets because he's getting exiled. Oh, and then another Awaken the Woods for the turn after that. Let's go. This is just ward 2. We still have 3, so that is a big yes for us. I will happily pay that. Indestructible. I don't... Dude.
I will mend this broken world. Open your mind.
All right, we can hopefully get him next turn. I'm going to go ahead and say end turn. Let's hope they don't have another one of these. Let's turn these lights off. That one. All right, so they're all tapped out. 2, 4, 6. Well, okay, they're not all tapped out. All right, our Ugin survives. Our Ugin survives. 2, 4, 6. So big pass. Block this stupid Ajani.
You waste your strength.
All right, let's really hope they don't have another one. Yes, target, submit. Yes, get out of here, buddy. You don't want to stay for that? What's wrong? You don't want my Hydra coming back? we were going to get a really fat Hydra, even though they did have a ton of creatures, even though we had a lot of blockers. All right, let's think what happens. We get rid of a Johnny. They clearly didn't have another one of these Bazaries, like indestructible and hexproof. So we're getting our Mossborn back. We're cracking this one. So that puts him up to a 2 power. Drop another one of these. That's 4. Crack it for 8. And we would have 2, 4, 6, 7. We would have 9 mana minus 2. So we could have done an Awaken the Woods for 7. So our Mossborn was going to go absolutely crazy there. So GG, boy. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to the post-game wrap. And the only thing I can say about this deck is smash. That is what I felt like doing today, and that is what we achieved with the Mossborn Hydra. I do really like this card a lot. I got the alt art for it, which I think looks really clean as well. And this guy just grows so quickly. Yeah, well, I think in that one game we saw, we got him up to 1,000 power. I don't know how quick that was, but I know for sure we've seen it in a few games where we go Forest into Elf into Hydra on turn 2, and then you can drop a land. Sometimes it's even a Fabled Passage, so you get double triggers on turn 3 already. So yeah, then on turn 3, what are you doing? You're attacking, I guess, just for 4. So that's not the craziest, but I guess if you have Order of Nylea, I can't say that one, just the, or I keep saying Order as well, it's the Ordeal. If you have the Ordeal, you can add that one, and then it would get a +1 counter, so it would go up to 5, and then you get to put 2 basics, so it would go to 10, 20. So I guess in theory, you could go turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Hydra by playing a land, and then turn 3 a Fabled Passage, so that would make him a 2/2. Crack the Fabled Passage for a land, so that would make him a 4/4, and you would have 3 mana available. So yeah, you could attach or equip the Ordeal, and then when this creature attacks, put a +1 counter on it, so it goes up to 5, and then search for 2 lands, so 5, 10, 20. So yeah, I guess in theory, you can finish an opponent on turn 3. I can't remember if we got that today or not, just because I have played quite a few games with this deck. Honestly, quite a few games as well that, yeah, I just didn't think were quite worthy enough to make it for the cut of the video. So yeah, I really like this entire package that we have. Let's see, this guy goes in the 3 mana slot. This one, let's put this one in the 4 mana slot, and this one in the 3 mana slot. This is kind of the curve of the deck. We have Llanowar Elf for turn 1. Bristly Bill, I really like this guy as well, just being able to put counters on any creature whenever you have a land enter the battlefield. The Ordeal, really good enchantment as well, especially when you do have the Hydra. I guess if you don't have the Hydra, it's not the best. The Irencrag, just for some early game ramp. The Bloomvine Regent, we only used its Claim the Territory, the Omen side, just to ramp a little bit. The Invasion of Zendikar, I love this card. 4 mana, search your entire library for 2 basics, put them on the battlefield, and if you do attack this guy, you can see from the flavor text, it says it's a land in addition to its other types as well. So if you have the Hydra on the battlefield and you do transform this invasion, this guy does count as a land entrance. So Hydra would get another counter. Irencrag is also there for Ugin as well. I think it was just this last game we played. Maybe it was the one before that, though. I can't remember. Where they had a Sheltered by Ghosts. And then, yeah, if you can play a colorless spell with Ugin on the battlefield, then, yeah, you can exile it. So Irencrag is also there just to trigger Ugin's ability. Just because, yeah, if you are ramping as hard as we ramp in this deck, yeah, Ugin, just such a good planeswalker, and I do really like Nissa. I think we saw her ultimate in one game help us just absolutely close out the game from nowhere. I don't think we really saw her other than that. Maybe in another game, I can't remember. Yeah, I think maybe we did use her -1 to destroy an artifact or enchantment, which is just really good, and just being able to create a plant creature token that its toughness and power is equal to Nissa's loyalty is also really, really good in and of itself. Awaken the Woods, I think we saw how strong that can be with this deck as well. Also, maybe you don't have the Hydra, but you do have some of your strong Planeswalkers, then this does help you ramp up into it, which is really nice. Yeah, Chimil, honestly, I maybe wasn't the biggest fan of Chimil, just because I think we hit Awaken the Woods one time, and yeah, you have to spend X mana to cast it, and that Discover doesn't count as that, so that one's kind of useless. Irencrag is legendary, so if you have one on the battlefield, then finding another one is useless. The Ordeal, if you don't really have any creatures to equip it to, is kind of useless. And then it can't find the Rampaging Baloths. So, yeah, Chimil, maybe you want to cut it from the deck. I know it is only a 2 of in there. It does make your spells uncounterable, which is really, really nice. That's one thing that I just love about Chimil. But yeah, you could maybe find a better home for Chimil. Not 100% sure how I feel about it in the deck. And same with the Rampaging Baloths. No, that's not true. I think in one game, this guy did really help us close out the game. Maybe in that game, we did hit an Awaken the Woods. I just remember we created so many of those 4/4 tokens. So I guess he is quite nice as well if you are ramping up. So yeah, honestly, this deck is a ton of fun. I will say, though, yeah, we don't really have any protection spells. Maybe you could do that instead of Chimil. Maybe cut down Chimil and maybe go with some, give your creature, indestructible or hexproof, like a Snakeskin Veil, just to protect Mossborn Hydra, because people know that, honestly, standard right now, it feels like every creature's a little bit of a threat, like Llanowar Elves, just for the mana ramp. People want to remove that one. Bristly Bill, giving creatures counters. You want to remove that one. I guess this guy, maybe don't care about too much. But when people see the Mossborn Hydra, they know. They just know that it's going to happen. And if they have no removal, there's nothing you can do, because this guy, it literally goes exponential. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. Quick maths for you guys right there. So I think that's the highest we actually hit with Mossborn as well. I think we did get up to 1024, so 1024 damage, which is awesome as well. So yeah, this deck, 2 thumbs up from me. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I think the version that we built today is really, really good as well. I guess one thing, since rotation is coming up kind of soon, I know I've mentioned that in a few of my videos. So we are losing Invasion, and we are losing Awaken the Woods. I think we're losing Nissa as well. Okay, so we are losing this package right here. That does kind of suck. I know instead of Invasion, you could go with the Encroaching Dragonstorm. That does exactly what this does as well. Search your library for 2 basics and put them on the battlefield. Of course, if you attack it down, well, the Encroaching Dragonstorm, you can't attack it down. So this one you can really easily replace. Awaken the Woods, from the top of my head, I can't think of anything that is as good as this one that creates those food tokens, those land tokens. So this one does kind of hurt, losing this one. And yeah, losing Nissa, that does also really, really suck. Let's see, if you did want to, real quick, if we did want to go with a green Planeswalker, who is there? There's Vivian Reed. So Ren we're losing. Vivian Reed, yeah, not the best. Not the worst either, though. Look at the top 4. You can reveal a creature card, so that could help you find your Mossborn Hydra. Tyvar, we're losing him. Luca, we're losing this one as well. We're losing a Johnny. Oko, the ringleader. Beginning of combat. 1 creature. Draw 2 cards. Create a green elk. Yeah, really not the best one in this deck. Yeah, so losing Nissa does really hurt. We're losing a lot of green Planeswalkers. I didn't even really realize that. We're losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy isn't green. But yeah, we're losing 5 green Planeswalkers. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I will say losing Nissa does really suck, as well as Awaken the Woods. So we might have to visit this deck post-rotation just to see if it can kind of remain on top. I think it can, just because, I think we saw from quite a few of the games, you don't necessarily need Awaken the Woods to win the game. Honestly, just a few counters on Hydra is good enough. So even if you just keep hitting your land drops. So if you go like land drop and you have a Fabled Passage and then another turn, another just normal land drop, that's usually just enough to close the opponent out right then and there. So yeah. Hey, if you guys enjoyed this video, I'm going to say it like all the other YouTubers say it. Go ahead and smash that like button. But yeah, I'm ending it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out. Bonus game.
I grant you a boon. I will not allow. Open your mind to possibility. You fight without purpose.